Did you see how packed the Supreme Court's docket is right now? There are some cases that could literally change how the Constitution is interpreted, like that Trump versus Casa case about birthright citizenship. It's putting the 14th Amendment under a whole new spotlight.
I know, that one's grabbed my attention, mostly because it could affect so many kids who were born here to undocumented parents. I keep thinking about how the debate over executive power versus civil rights just keeps looping back, no matter who's in office.
Exactly, and honestly, the FCC versus Consumers Research case is just as fascinating for totally different reasons. That fight over the Universal Service Fund doesn't sound exciting at first blush, but it's about who pays to keep rural America online. That's real-life impact.
Totally rural broadband gets ignored until something like this pops up. And the Texas age verification law? The Free Speech Coalition case could set the bar for online privacy and censorship, especially if other states try to copy it.
Yeah, and then you throw in those clashes over school books and the Affordable Care Act's preventive care mandates. This term is like a crash course in every hot-button issue at once. Which one do you think will spark the biggest public reaction?
Honestly, the birthright citizenship and LGBTQ+ storybook cases both have that culture war energy. But I think the healthcare mandate challenge could have this sneaky widespread effect because once you start messing with access to things like contraception and cancer screenings, people really notice.
That actually reminds me of how many high-profile criminal trials are dominating headlines, too. The details are wild, like the Swilly case in Florida, where he staged a crime scene after killing his husband. It sounds like something out of a true crime show.
I've thought the same thing. What gets me is how these cases like Jose Soto Escalera's are hitting nerves about trust and betrayal. There's this undercurrent of societal anxiety. Even that Leilani Simon appeal, with her claims of unfair police interrogation, is stirring up debates about justice and due process.
Yeah, and then there's the Gary Busey sentencing. That one pulls in the celebrity angle and questions about accountability. He got probation, but people are talking more about his past than the sentence itself.
It's like the court of public opinion runs alongside the actual courtroom. And sometimes, viral stories almost overshadow the verdicts, which leads perfectly into those headline-grabbing controversies we're seeing on social media.
There's something about these viral legal cases like Singer D. Forbes and the Tesla incident that just takes over everyone's feeds. Even without charges filed, the speculation canceled his tour and tanked his reputation overnight.
It's wild how fast social media can shift a career or even an entire narrative. And then there's the Utah nurse, Megan Sundwall, accused of manipulating her friend before the murder. It's like people can't look away, but at the same time, it stirs up a lot of mistrust toward institutions.
Yeah, the Florida siblings abuse case is another example. The details are so disturbing, but the public reaction seems to hinge less on the trial itself and more on how the system let it get that far. There's a real sense of frustration.
And what's interesting is, these viral stories seem to shape the way people feel about justice as a whole. It's not just about one bad actor, it becomes about whether the system protects or fails us. That tension feels like it's driving bigger conversations across the legal landscape right now.
After all these stories, I'm left wondering if we're seeing a real shift in legal priorities, especially with executive power and digital regulation under the microscope. It feels like the courts are being asked to draw the lines on issues that Congress hasn't touched.
Absolutely. And it's not just the court's public sentiment is making waves, especially when viral cases hit social media. Like, one day it's a healthcare mandate, the next it's a celebrity scandal, and suddenly everyone's rethinking who gets to set the rules.
It all adds up to this sense that even as the law tries to catch up, people don't always trust the process. Maybe the big takeaway is that these headline cases, whether Supreme Court or criminal, are less about single decisions and more about the country's growing pains in real time.
I feel that too. Each of these cases, whether they're decided in courtrooms or debated online, exposes a piece of what people care most about. It's messy, but it's also how change happens, one controversy at a time.